Hey guys, welcome to my channel among.stouts. If you're new here, my name is Samantha, and in today's video I have a little bit of a book haul that I want to share with you guys. But before I share this book haul with you, because it's kind of specific to a specific online curriculum with a specific book list, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of background on why I have purchased these, what I'm considering for my homeschool moving forward, because as it stands right now, we are looking to potentially make some changes in our homeschool. So I just want to give you guys all the little things that we're kind of working through. So as you know, if you have been here on my channel, if you don't know, we homeschool primarily classically. We are primarily Christian classical educators here in our homeschool. That is the method that we follow. That is the spine of our homeschool. We do that through attending, being a part of classical conversations. So over the last few months, my husband and I have both been doing a lot more research on the different methods of homeschooling, educating, because really you can use any of these methods in any in any form of education, whether that be public, private, charter. There are a lot of classical private schools and even public charter schools that have popped up. There's brick and mortar Charlotte Mason schools. Primarily what you see in public schooling is a more traditional method where they're using textbooks. And while I say that we are primarily Christian classical educators, there's a big difference between, for us, it's very important to lay out that we are Christians first and classical second. But if you have seen any of our curriculum videos, you will see that I bring in a mix of different things. Some of my kids do use textbooks. Some of my kids we have enjoyed unit studies in the past. We have paired living books which is more of a Charlotte Mason, as for our history. Like, we've used living books rather than history textbooks over the years to pair with our classical conversations history spine. So there's just things like that where we've kind of done a little bit of everything, and that I don't think is going to change. In our research and our reading, and mind you, I did a lot of this before we ever decided to homeschool, but you never stop learning. And so with the things that I've been reading lately, I've learned the difference between the classical tradition versus the neoclassical home education model, which is what classical conversations and a few of the classical curriculum publishers, what they produce is neoclassical. And so as I have been learning about the two, I believe initially I went into it thinking that what I was doing was classical tradition. I didn't really know that that this whole neoclassical movement was something completely different from the classical tradition. So as I've been learning more, my heart and having conversations with my husband and my kids, we are yearning for more of that classical tradition in our homeschool. So a lot of these books that I have are things that I've gotten off of the Ambleside online book list, because we are planning to add reading from those book lists more over for the rest of our homeschool. So what I did was I already have an 8th grader and a 6th grader. So what I did is I went through their if you have older kids, what your kids should read from the previous years. And I purchased many of those books. Some of them I don't have because I ordered from Christian Book. But it's like only 1 or 2 that I don't have. But all of the rest of them I do have. And so I wanted to go ahead and share this with you guys. So I have been looking into adding more poetry in our homeschool, getting into Shakespeare, and basically all of these things that are very Charlotte Mason. And in my reading and what I've been learning about the classical tradition, Charlotte Mason is very much classical in the sense of she her writings and her principles lead to a more classical tradition form of education. And so based off that, that is kind of how I have landed on using the Ambleside Online book list as for this year, just adding them in as some as read alouds, some as readers for my older kids. That's kind of how it is right now. Like I said, we are talking through, praying, and just really trying to figure out what to do in the future. But as of right now, as it stands, we are just supplementing what we already do with some of the books and recommendations from Ambleside Online. I don't know that it will go much further than that. It may. But for now, this is where we're at. So let me go ahead and share with you the books that I got from Amazon. And I'll start off with the ones that all of my kids, we're just going to all read together. And I really had to even learn about the importance in some things, because I never really, if it was ever taught to me, I don't really remember it. So Plutarch, I don't remember ever hearing that in school and diving deep into it. It was a little bit daunting, but I'm really excited about reading more Plutarch after learning about it. So Ambleside Online has done a really cool thing where for all of their years, they make these volumes or these anthologies for you to go purchase, so you're not buying all of these individually. So I got the Plutarch Project Volume 9, and this is the one that they are currently reading this year. So I figured we may as well add it on and go ahead and stick with the same years that they are on. So next year, whatever volume they're on, we will also move on to. And then I did the same thing for the poetry. So this is the Volume 6 poetry. This has Robert Frost, Carl Sandburg, and other favorites. So I got that. And my older two kids are at the age now where Ambleside recommends for them, or it's on their curriculum list for them to read the Ourselves by Charlotte Mason. So this is from the Home Education series. So I went ahead and purchased that. I bought this by itself on Amazon. I wish I could buy the whole volume set. I wish that all 6 volumes were available on Amazon, but they weren't. And so I went ahead and bought this one so that my son could go ahead and start it while I look to try to find a 6-set volume. Otherwise, I'm just going to go buy all of them individually. I have read, for the children's sake, and I can do another video on this, of books that I read, but for the children's sake, a couple by Karen Glass, and then the Charlotte Mason Companion, but I haven't actually read her Home Education series for myself. So that is something that I am scheduling in to do for myself. So I need to get those ordered so that I can start working through those on my own. And I also plan on reading this before my kids do. Okay, so the other one that I have is the Story of the Greeks. All right, guys, so my battery died and I have no idea where my other battery is. So I have just a little bit of time on this one because I got it charged up just for a few minutes. And my baby girl woke up, but she's okay. She's with daddy. So if you can hear her screaming, she's okay. I just nursed her and she's with daddy. So I don't know if I finished telling you guys, but I got the Story of the Greeks. And then all of the rest of the books are used books that I got from a used book sailor on Instagram. It was really nice that I found her account because she actually lives in San Antonio. So when I order from her, my orders come in really quick, and it's nice to support a local thrifted book reseller. So I'll go ahead and share with you guys what I got. I think the majority of these, a couple of these are not on the list. And I also, one of the things with some of these, you pay a little bit more or quite a bit more if you buy them used versus if you just go on Amazon and buy some of these books reprinted. But there's just something so nice about having these books that look older and they have that old book smell on them. And they've stood the test of time so far. So I have a lot of kids that are gonna read these books, and if they've lasted this long, I have great expectations that they will last through all of my kids. So that's another reason why I like to buy some of these used. So the first book that I have to share with you guys is History Stories of Other Lands, Book 1, Tales from Far and Near. There's stories from, oh, this is the reason why I bought this, is because with CC, we have like this incredible, really long timeline song. And kids know the timeline song, but they don't know anything about, I won't say that they don't know anything. They know some things about some of the things in that timeline song, and other things are just facts that they have no idea. So I kind of wanted to start putting the living ideas behind those facts that they've learned, which is one of the things that with CC, I love that they were getting these pegs that they would use later on. But what I'm finding with my kid, with my oldest having gone through A, halfway through B, and then looking, I am someone who looks ahead. That's not always a good thing, because you don't know what's going to happen, but I do like to look ahead, and I just don't see a lot of areas where some of the things in the timeline song, those ideas are being revealed to the kids, or like they're coming across those ideas. So like they learn this long timeline song, and then they actually never do anything more with some of those history bits. So this book, when I saw it and she had a couple of pictures of the things in there, so I wanted to get it. So one of the ones is Romulus and Remus is in there, Alexander the Great, King Arthur, King Alfred, William Tell, Joan of Arc, the story of printing, finding the New World, and just some other things. It says it's all over the world. So there's stuff about Napoleon and Australia, King George, London Fire. So all different stories from all over the world, near and far and near. So that's that book. I'm really excited to get into that one. I also got a couple of these smaller books for Tales from the Odyssey. We have like the Mary Osborne, I think, Mary Pope Osborne, I think her name is, like the Magic Tea House author. We have some of her Tales from the Odyssey books, but I got these also. Again, they're just old and I like how they look. So I have The Return of Odysseus and Odysseus and the Giants. So excited to read those. So this one was not a save. Like these next two were not savings at all. You can actually purchase these on Christian Book republished at a really good price, but these are hardback, and I just also really wanted these older versions. So the first one I have is Augustus Caesar's World by Genevieve Foster. That's that book. And for the ones that I can link for you guys, whether on Christian Book or Amazon, I will link that for you. And then I have, by the same author, I have Abraham Lincoln's World. So I'm on the hunt for the George Washington's World. So if you know an Instagram online book seller, or you come across one that's selling the George Washington version, let me know. Send it to me on Instagram. Okay, so another couple of books that I have are Kidnapped, and this is by Robert Louis Stevenson. And that's what that looks like. And then I have a really pretty copy of Pride and Prejudice. And then last but not least in this book haul, I have The Prince and the Pauper. There's that book there. And this was actually one that was a really good deal to buy used versus new. Still in good condition. And so that's all I have for right now. And then I thought that I needed a lot more books for to fill in like books that my kids have missed from the Ambleside online book list. But I was actually in here working out one morning and like doing some shoulder presses facing towards the bookshelves, and I saw like, oh, I have this book and I have that book. So they may not be like the recommended versions of the books, but they are unabridged. So I feel like as long as they're unabridged, it's fine, and I will just pull those down from what I already have on my bookshelf. So it was really nice to see that, and then to go and shop my bookshelves and see how many of those books that I already had. So I'm excited about that. If you guys have any questions for me on like, you know, this kind of transition that I'm in my homeschool, as you know, this is us only going into our 4th year, and I'm not like overhauling. I don't think that we've been doing anything wrong. I'm very much still a classical home educator. I just think that I have been yearning for the beauty of what is a classical tradition in education. And so I'm really looking forward to continuing to learn more about that and what it means and how to implement that and what it's going to look like in my homeschool. If you guys have any resources that you would like to share with me, please go ahead and put those in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!